Hi, everybody. This is Gary Dean, and this is our nightly video report for Tuesday, December 27th, 2016. The Bulls had their eye on the Dow, trying to get to that 20,000 marker. And instead of just using the Dow to get up, what they decided to do is bring the NASDAQ and the S&P up. And the Dow is actually the worst performing index out of all of them. And it looked like they were going to get there today, and from there they just kind of turned around. At this particular point, I don't think it's that big of a milestone. We're going to eventually, it is going to be, because once we get through there, mostly we're probably going to see the Dow head up to the 23,000. But we're going to have some pullbacks along the way. It's probably, like I said, not going to take place until sometime in 2017, early 2017. But right now, it's just, it's really a bunch of nothing. There's not much to really report. The one thing that I've noticed is, we have the Dow that's trying for that 20,000 marker. That's, obviously all-time highs. And you have the S&P that's still not above it. We know the NASDAQ made new all-time highs today. So the indexes are not all there, but here's that wedge that I showed you that we moved out of, and from here we're now above it. I just, to me, they're just kind of nothing patterns, because there's, your patterns and your technicals are not really going to matter all that much, because there's just no participation. So, it was here, it broke out of it. What is it now? It's not bearish, it's not bullish. It's going sideways. That's probably really the best way to put it, until they decide that they're going to kind of put everything together and try to make that run for the Dow 20,000. I mean, really the biggest shocker would be if they don't don't get to the Dow 20,000. I think that would catch a lot of people by surprise. But betting against, numbers that everybody is watching hasn't really been a good winning trade or winning bet. As a matter of fact, you lost almost every time. So you just have to assume that they're going to get to the Dow 20,000. It's just a matter of when they're going to elect to do it. And until then, everything else is just nothing. We have the bearish divergences. The Dow, made it above this little thing at the open. From there, made it to the next resistance zone. Now, if they continue higher, then we're going to see the Dow stretch for this 2277 and then the 2285. Really, what the Bulls want to defend is this 2263. If they lose that, then it's going to be this 2259, and below that, then we start testing the lower levels. So above this, just look for the 2277 and then the 2285. Below the midpoint, as well as the moving average, then you start looking at the 2258, and then all the way down at the 2248. 15-minute chart, you can see that, the opening spike up that we've seen just about every time. That was the high right there. So sometimes it's been, again, this isn't, because it's the 15-minute chart. It's not a good indicator, because we've seen, the S&P drop without bearish divergences, and we've seen them extend with bearish divergences. So right now, every gap up they've had near these highs, they've come back and closed it. So maybe tomorrow they come down to the 2260. Like I said, there's no really technical reference or anything to do with this as far as wave counts or anything. It's going to be low participation, low volume. They may take the S&P down, and like I said, technical wise, it would make sense. They take it up, momentum wise, it would make sense. So it's not really a good arena to be doing much. And like I said, I would just take these last few days and relax and enjoy and get ready for 2017. So with that, that's about all I have for tonight. Have a great night, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.